Hi, friends. My name is Toni Cureton. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Life Skills FYI. Life Skills FYI provides a set of core adult capabilities to manage work, family, and relationships successfully. It is designed to help build the skills adults need for life. Life Skills FYI teaches skills of planning, awareness, focus, self-control, and flexibility. They are daily living skills to promote successful independent living. Skills that every adult should know, but were never taught in school. Life Skills FYI premieres on Thursdays at 10 a.m. on our My Virtual Academy Facebook page. Today, we are going to talk about how to increase the shelf life of your frozen food. Have you ever had food go bad in the freezer, ruined before you had a chance to eat it? The problem is not just from freezer burn, but also some foods seem to lose their flavor after being frozen for a while. What can you do to preserve the freshness of frozen food and prevent freezer burn? Today, I'll share the best tips for increasing the shelf life of your frozen food. First, don't overbuy. Some pros of having to buy in bulk includes cost, convenience, and long shelf life. However, there are a few cons to consider as well, such as the need for additional storage space and the potential for waste if the food is not consumed before it goes bad. So make sure you don't overbuy. Buying in bulk is tempting, but if you don't have a whole lot of people in your household to feed, it may not be as cost effective as you may think. Next, number 2, know what freezes well. Some foods just don't freeze well, and others change flavor and texture over time. So you want to monitor that. Know what will hold in your freezer. You just can't stick all foods in there. Number 3, rewrap before freezing. Never freeze food in the original package that it comes in. Take all meats, breads, and cheeses out of their original packaging and rewrap them in Reynolds freezer paper. Freezer paper helps to keep moisture in and air out, which helps prevent freezer burn. Make sure you read the instructions on the box, which will show you how to properly wrap your food. Place your wrapped food once you wrap it up in a Ziploc freezer bag, squeeze out all of the air, and then make sure you date and label each package and store it in your freezer. With proper wrapping, your food can last a long time in the freezer. Number 4, vacuum seal frozen foods. Vacuum sealing foods is an excellent way to preserve your food. Vacuum sealing removes all of the air from your freezer package, which prevents freezer burn and it preserves your food flavor. Freezer sealing vacuum sealers, the price can range anywhere from $29 to $150. And you can get food savers from Walmart, or you can go online to Amazon and order them. No matter which or how much you pay for one, the investment is well worth it, because the enemy to frozen food is air. And if you don't wrap it properly and then place it inside a Ziploc bag, you could find that when you go to pull that steak out, it's all dried out and freezer burned. If you invest a few dollars in a food saver vacuum sealer, it removes all the air and keeps your food very well, and it prevents the freezer burn from happening. So If you are really good at wrapping the food and squeezing out all the air in the Ziploc bag, then that's great. But if you kind of struggle with it, you might want to invest in a vacuum sealer, a food saver vacuum sealer. Number 5, make sure that you label and date everything using the first in, first out rule of inventory. Food, it doesn't last forever. We can extend the life of the food, if we properly store and label our food, but eventually all of it is eventually it's going to come to a point where, you're either going to have to eat it or discard it. But if you make sure that you label and date all of your food and you rotate your food in the freezer with first in, first out, using that method will save you and keep you from wasting food because you didn't get to it in time. Number 6, keep an inventory. Know what you have. Know what you have in your refrigerator, your freezer, your pantries, and your cupboards. It really is way too easy to lose track and forget about that container of lasagna that you got in your freezer because you didn't label and date it. You didn't use the first in, first out method. So take some time to organize your freezer, as well as your refrigerator and your pantries and your cupboards. Use a color code system or label your shelves so that you can stay organized. If you have 2 or 3 shelves in your freezer, label each shelf. Your top shelf as vegetables, your middle shelf as entrees, and your bottom shelf as raw meats. That way you'll stay organized. That way you'll stay on track and you'll be on top of what's in your freezer and what isn't. Number 7, use the best packaging for freezing food. For example, meats, when you purchase them in the store, you come home, and unless you're going to cook it immediately, you should unpackage it and rewrap it. The packaging that meat come in, they're not meant to protect your food long-term in the freezer. And if you just take your package of meat from the store and throw it in the freezer, you're going to get freezer burn because it does not prevent the air from getting in, which is what causes freezer burn. Use freezer paper and good quality plastic wrap and heavy duty freezer bags. Double wrap your food items by wrapping them in the freezer paper or the plastic wrap individually and then placing them into freezer Ziploc bags. The bag should then be labeled and dated. If you follow these simple steps, you will be able to stay on top of what's in your refrigerator, your freezer, and you'll be able to keep your food fresh in your freezer. Well, friends, that is all my time for today. Thanks so much for tuning in to Life Skills FYI. You can reach out to me if you have any questions. My number is 586-842-0558. That's 586-842-0558. Again, my name is Toni Cureton. Thank you again for tuning in to Life Skills FYI. And always remember to adult responsibly.